All right, everyone. Let me fix that format. All right. Hi, everyone. The podcast is back. Less than a week into the
Ew.
return. We're back. We are.
Excuse
We're
me.
landing. We're landing on our feet. We're back with episode 2 with 2/3 of the film sharks here. Me and Christian Paystrup. Last time we did the other 2/3 of the film sharks with Tate. Now we're doing the other. It's Christian Paystrup. Hi, everyone. It's Christian Paystrup here. So, yeah, how you been?
Oh, tired.
Understandable. Understandable.
Tired of life, but
Yeah.
yeah.
I am. My channel. I'm just rolling things out now. Now that I have a video like the Misanthropony one, I want to thank you real quick for tweeting that he blocked you.
Yes, it was
Because
literally okay. So the reason I found that screenshot was literally for some reason there was like a clip he was posting from Space Jam, and I was so confused because it said it was from Misanthropony because someone else quote tweeted it or something. I was
yeah,
like, wait, wasn't he like removed
yeah.
from Twitter?
Did it? So did he
And then
get
I
his?
go on and he blocked me, and I just found that really funny.
Yeah. So even as the person who made an entire video, 50. No, now I've made, well over like an hour and a half of content on him. Is that his? So is the account he has right now the one that got banned, or is he have a new one?
I'm still not sure.
I could probably find it out in 2 seconds with the screenshots I have, but I don't feel like it. So, whatever the case may be,
Feel like it's a different account.
yeah.
To be.
So I have. It's my second most viewed video on my channel, 1.7 thousand views, and now I'm currently at 396 subs. So people, give 4 more, subscribe. I need to celebrate 400, so I'm about there now.
Yeah. We got to get to 420.
Yeah, once I get to 420, I'm doing some crazy celebration. Like, I don't know. I would just like smoke weed on a review, but I might just do something like just funny. I don't know. I might just make a totally random video for it. Also, I have another big celebration on Friday. KFDM, the channel which used to be MGD Gaming, so my original YouTube channel turns 5. So I'll have been on YouTube for half a decade on Friday.
Hey.
Consistently uploading. The longest break I've taken is probably maybe a month and a half. So I've been mostly consistently uploading for 5 years. I don't know if I'm proud of that or not. I think I am, but
Yeah.
anywho, so since normally I talk about music on this channel, but since I have a very big movie fan base and Christian is a movie reviewer, we're talking movies today. So if you're looking here for music stuff, leave. There's not going to be anything here. I'm probably not going to mention music much at all.
We might talk about music.
I might mention like
Has
the
anything
music
to
in
do
these
with the
films.
movies.
Yeah, I might mention that, but I'm not gonna say like, oh yeah, speaking of which, do you Kanye West? I'm not gonna do something weird like that. I'm just gonna discuss the films as they are. So
I mean, like the majority of my state voted for him in the election, which is
I'm proud of
embarrassing.
you. Can you blame your state though? Like, can you blame them considering the climate of that year?
I just found that really funny that like
Yeah.
of all the states, it was Utah.
Yeah, that is. You'd think it would be. You'd think it would be like, I don't know. You'd think it'd be like Florida or something weird like that.
Eh,
Um.
Florida at least makes sense.
Yeah, I like at least Florida obeyed by the laws or like obeyed by the general things you'd think Florida would do. Yeah.
Crazy, rob a Wendy's with alligators.
Yep. Basically, yeah. I went there back in March, and I was gonna go back this summer because I just like traveling to tropical places, but it's way too hot there. I took
Yeah.
I took a hike this morning. Oh my gosh, I regret that. It was like 100 degrees. Oh, it was the worst. Which is why we were gonna do this earlier today, but I pushed it to tonight because I was so tired from the hike, and I was like, I need to sleep. I need to do something else.
That was probably a smart idea, in
Yeah.
my opinion.
If you live in Colorado, you hike. Like, that's just the general rule. Like,
Yeah.
no one here, at least in my city, no one here doesn't hike. Like, no one here is not a hiker. Or at least just, you either ski, you hike, or you fish. That's kind of how it is. And I'm
Also the
not.
same way in Utah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's Utah's like neighboring state. That wouldn't surprise me that it's similar.
Yeah.
You guys have some
Skiing is
crazy
huge.
cool. You guys have some crazy cool national parks there that I want to see. So
Yeah.
I haven't been to Utah in years. I should probably go back someday. Anywho, so we're discussing first
Meet up.
today. We're discussing new Marvel stuff because I haven't talked about anything. The last Marvel thing I reviewed was Far From Home, I guess. Would that be correct?
It was 2 years ago.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
reviewing movies at the time, and that was the last one. Yeah, I remember when I thought to myself back like summer 2019, I was like, "Dang it, I have to wait till next May till I get another Marvel movie." No, I was not gonna wait till next May. I was gonna wait till two. That was damn near 2 years without a Marvel film.
Yeah.
That's insane. Yeah, whatever the case may be, Marvel is back. They are pushing stuff out like crazy. So we can just go through them in the
coming
order.
out this year.
Yeah. I'm going to give a spoiler warning for WandaVision, Falcon and Winter Soldier, Loki, and Black Widow, because I don't feel that everything I talk about in this video I'll probably spoil. Because I've noticed with reviewing albums, there's no such thing as spoiling the album, because literally everyone can listen to it whenever they want, because it's on free streaming services and YouTube. And usually when I review an album, I just go through every song and just talk about how I feel. So now I'm really bad at not spoiling movies. So I have a really hard time doing spoiler-free stuff. So I just, every time I review something, I'm like, okay, I'm spoiling it because I don't feel like controlling myself to not spoil it.
I have to control myself. I would be kicked out of my job if I spoiled everything.
If you spoil, if you spoil some movies, then yeah.
Yeah.
If you, well, I mean, you can't, you
What
wouldn't get...
Little Women for someone.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll start with WandaVision.
200-year-old
Wait, what?
book.
Oh, okay.
uh,
So,
Liz.
WandaVision, like, came out in January, right?
Yes, it released in January and kept going until March because it was nine episodes. The first two were first
one.
day.
And I'm fine with it being 9 episodes because of how much it had to develop. Like, there's a lot to do there. In my opinion, it's a solid show until they reveal everything. That's just, like, I thought the whole, world she was creating was cool. But it was really annoying when I had this crazy theory, like, what if this is her coping mechanism of losing vision? And then that's exactly what it was. I was like, oh, okay, Marvel, thanks for going the creative road. A 14-year-old's predicted on episode 2.
I mean, to be fair, it's mainly because they've borrowed it from the House of M storyline.
Oh, I don't read
which is
comics,
a
so I don't
bit
know that.
different. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a bit different in the sense that it's the same premise of Wanda creates her own reality.
Yeah.
But that one, it just ends up affecting the whole Marvel universe, and it's a.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't think the title is a good title. Like, I don't think WandaVision makes sense because I know that's the name of the show, but like, it is really just a Wanda show. Like, that's who it's about. Like, it's not
Vision
like
gets into wacky shenanigans.
Yeah.
That's it.
I thought the whole concept where they went through like each decade and every episode was really cool. Like the first like few episodes I was really enjoying because I was just loving the way they were developing things, moving through time, and just things seemed nice, but they obviously were off. Then like from the time that they brought like, okay, Shield is in it now, after that it just kind of went downhill for me. Like that's where my decline of the show I think starts. And honestly, the entire conclusion was pretty lame in my opinion. It was just kind of some battle, and that was kind of it.
It's weird, because I'm going to be honest, I think it's my favorite thing Marvel's done in, like, years.
Wait, do you think it's, like, better than Endgame?
Well, here's the thing. I'm a bit weird on Endgame, because when I saw Endgame, I was a huge fan of it. Like, I was like, oh man, this rocks.
Yeah.
Like, the more and more I've seen it, I've just kind of been a little, like, Like, it's kind of become lesser for me as I've
Yeah.
rewatched it.
I
I
I
still think like Act 3 is really good. It's just kind of just like
I
it's
think I
pretty good,
think
I guess.
Endgame was such like an incredible emotional experience for me that despite all of the very obvious issues of it, I always give it like a 10 out of 10 and I'm like this movie just impacted me so hard. Like that's the first time I saw
It's a strong finale, is what it
yes,
is.
it's I honestly after that I was like maybe Marvel doesn't need to continue from here. This is a great place to end. I'm fine with the fact that they're continuing, but I
Yeah.
think I think Infinity War is a better movie. It's just better written. But I think Endgame is at least that third act is one of the most entertaining things in cinema. Both me and my brother
Yeah.
have like agreed like that like last third is probably the like one of the best pieces of film ever, just in general for me.
Yeah. I was gonna say, like, for me, the big thing that I really liked about WandaVision, like, it is like this sort of fun like, examination of like sitcoms and like how they evolved.
Yeah,
I did love this idea of, excuse me, this show about trauma and
yeah,
like coming to terms with grief, and I feel like it excelled at that in a lot of ways that I feel some
yeah.
even just Marvel themselves
Yeah.
haven't been
And
able to do.
that's why I'd still say I really like the show. Like I think it's really good. It's just like I think in a lot of ways it just it has like the potential to be amazing in my opinion and I don't think it really goes there. First for honestly at the end of the show, there was a point where I almost felt like it kind of held back from really going somewhere really inventive and weird but kind of beautiful. I feel like it just kind of held back to just stick with this. Oh, we'll do this kind of character development thing with Wanda and we'll stop here. And I'm like, well, you could have gone somewhere much deeper than that. But that's how I just saw that whole kind of conclusion and everything around it.
I think another thing that's sort of frustrating with the finale was a lot of it was due to COVID, that they didn't get to finish it.
Oh,
Apparently there was this whole cut scene in the finale that was gonna have Captain Rambo and Wanda's kids, and they were gonna like fight like Agatha's rabbit that was like a demon thing.
uh,
There was a whole like thing that just they did not get to do because they didn't have enough time
yeah.
or able to do it because of COVID.
Yeah, sucks that COVID kind of messes it up like that. But I mean, considering what you just described, I don't know if I would say. I mean, I would probably find that
Yeah.
entertaining, but I don't know if I'd say that makes the conclusion like great for me.
I was already kind of just okay with the finale, anyways. I'm like, I
Yeah.
mean,
I was
it
okay
kind of
with
just
it.
goes
I
generic,
was
but
okay
I was
with
like,
it. It was like on episode 8, I was just like, oh my goodness, this show is gonna have some amazing conclusion. And then the conclusion came around, and I was like, oh, it was all right.
oh, they're
It was
just
cool.
fighting.
Yeah. Um, it's a cool show because I do think when we're talking about like the first couple episodes, it does take a really like creative road for Marvel. But by the end of it, I feel like that creativity kind of dissolves away, and I almost feel like it's kind of revealed that it's just kind of another Marvel thing. It's good, it's pretty enjoyable, but it's not that impactful, and it's not really gonna leave like a mark on me. You get what I'm saying?
Except for one moment. Bum bum ba-dum bum ba-dum bum.
Oh yeah. There's a couple cool setups in it, I'll admit, but I don't know. Okay, I know we don't agree on this. I didn't really care for Agatha. I just thought it was just like it was just kind of like a oh, huh. And maybe that's because I'm not a comic fan and I don't really know what's all the cool things about
It's not
Agatha.
that interesting in the comics, not gonna lie.
Yeah. Yeah. Like okay, honestly, I find like I don't read
Freaking
the
love her
comics. I don't know
show, though.
anything about the comics and I kind of just stick by this. If the
Yeah.
show does something well, then I'm gonna praise it for that. If it does something badly, then I'm not. If it did it better in the comics, I don't really care. Just like
It's like an old. Her whole thing was she's just like an old lady who trained
Yeah.
Wanda. That's it.
yeah, it's just kind of like a well, interesting villain, interesting cool witch versus witch, but at the end of the day, it just didn't really set me back on any. It just didn't really take me anywhere. It's just kind of
I
okay.
will say though, I do like that she stayed alive because that means she can
Yeah.
come back. I want more Catherine Hahn and just
Yeah.
thing. But I was also gonna say like something I do appreciate with the narrative they take Agatha's not really the main antagonist.
Yeah.
Sort of just a thing that like is just that shows up.
Yeah.
Which I kind of like because it's more about like Wanda and like the morality at play
Yeah.
with that. What I really like about it. So
Yeah. I think at the end of the day, it's a good show, but it just doesn't.
Yeah.
It's just something I kind of forgot about when I ended it. Some cool things here and there, but at the end of the day, it's just kind of a.
I will
Marvel
say
thing.
though, for the rest of these things coming up, it's probably my favorite of Phase
It's
4
my.
so
It would be
far.
my second favorite.
Yeah.
So, maybe we could just both like rate it out of 10.
I'd give it like a 9-ish.
Solid.
Higher than probably you.
I would give
My
it an 8.
letterbox, it's a 5 out of 5, but that's because
Oh,
I
wow,
just do
yeah.
it as like straight stars. It's not like
Yeah.
the full thing.
I'd give it a like 8 out of 10, maybe 7. I'm pretty
Yeah.
generous now with my ratings. I think it's enjoyable enough, and I'd be fine to watch it again. And I think there's enough amazing moments for me to hold it back. But the thing that's kind of, for me to not give it a 7, but the thing that's holding it back from like a 9 to like higher than that is just I'm not crazy about that conclusion, and a lot of the other plot points that kind of make it up just are kind of okay to me. So.
Most people
Also-
weren't.
also-
I'm aware I'm kind of in the minority
Yeah.
on that.
Also, Quicksilver was absolutely not necessary. That really annoyed me. I was like, oh my goodness, what? Quicksilver? Oh, he's literally going to do nothing. So, as much as I love that Quicksilver and X-Men, I just wish... That's the best part of X-Men Apocalypse. I just wish they did more with that.
There's not much to like about X-Men.
I have the hot take of saying I really enjoy Apocalypse. Most people disagree with me with that. I was on Tate's review of it, and I was like praising it. I mean, I don't love it. I think Days of Future Past, Logan, and all. There's not one of the best X-Men films, but I just have fun with it. It's just fun movie. So, anyway, Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Like Origins or something. It's not
Yeah,
Origins.
it's not Origins.
It's not Wolverine.
It's not Origins. It's not Dark Phoenix.
X3.
X3's
not
yeah.
that.
X3's bad. It's not terrible, but it's bad. I can't believe Dark Phoenix is the worst Dark Phoenix film. Anywho, Falcon and Winter Soldier. I think it's great. I enjoy it because I think the characters are really well done. Despite the fact that I wasn't crazy about the conclusion, I think another conclusion I didn't really like, honestly.
It's gonna be a common theme in all of these.
Yeah,
I
all
can
3 of the
feel
shows
it.
I think had kind of lacking endings. But when I'm talking, like, I really like the relationship they developed between Bucky and Sam. I thought that was just really entertaining.
No, I think it's easily the best
Yeah.
part of the whole show.
Like that, they just had a fun dynamic. They had like fun jokes, and they kind of like ended up being friends. I thought it was just well done. Marvel's really great at the characters. So that's their strongest point, in my opinion, is their character development and their like relationships with the characters. I think they're just amazing at that, and I think they did that well. Also, what was
Great
his
at
name?
characterization is how I
Yeah.
would put it.
I also was very impressed with what was the moment. So I don't know the comics, so I'm just gonna call him New Captain America. When he
Agent.
like slaughters that guy in public,
Oh,
I thought I was okay. That actually like this. Okay, honestly, I've seen like I think I've seen like 5 Quentin Tarantino films. That disturbed me more than anything in a Quentin Tarantino film. Those are violent movies, and that disturbed me more because it totally caught me off guard. I was like, oh my goodness, where did that come from? And it was
I
just
actually have
really,
a funny story with that episode, like as it's premiering.
yeah,
Like earlier in the night, I basically was like watching Barb and Star go to Vista Del Mar, which was like one of the new comedies.
yeah,
So far, my favorite movie of the year, just because it's in its own field of reality.
yeah.
I will say though, it's a wavelength movie, so it's like
Oh yeah,
it's one you'll either love or hate.
yeah,
I was like, this is so much fun,
yeah.
and then just cutting to that episode.
Yeah. I think my brother put it well that Falcon and Winter Soldier is probably better in one sitting than it is every week. Like the episodes really connect together. So I maybe I could rewatch it again there. To be
I will
honest,
say I did have a hard time sleeping afterwards. I was just like
yeah,
that was yo.
yeah, no,
That was
that
too
that caught me
real
off guard.
there.
I thought the whole thing with that character, despite the way they ended it, I thought it was just well done. Like, I thought he was just a interesting character, and I thought it was an interesting kind of study of it, like, stability.
Yeah.
So
I really like it because it ties back into the first Avenger with
yeah,
with how power
yeah,
how like a great man
yeah. Also, I hate to make things
or
like political issues, but I thought it was a very good move to bring like the issue of racism into it. I thought that was a good move
too.
because it's brought up in the show a lot, like how
Yeah.
the world would perceive a black Captain America, and this thing about this other super soldier. Like I was happy that they didn't shy away from that, and I was happy that they actually tackled like actual issues in it, because Marvel's never been crazy about that. They do it in Black Panther a bit, and that's kind of it. But I'm happy that they full on were like, let's talk about like this kind of issue of the higher class not understanding the lower class, and also let's touch on this theme of racism. I think it's happy that they went down that road. It doesn't make it great for me. I was just like, I was proud that they did that. Oh, my stupid.
Kind of where
my
for
alarm went
me
off.
the show kind of gets interesting, and it kind of is weird because I like a lot of what they did.
Yeah.
Like I loved when they brought in Isaiah Bradley.
Yes. Yes.
Like that whole reveal. I was like, that's amazing. And
Yeah, that was.
something I love is and I think there's only been like usually deconstructionist like superhero stuff does this, but like I loved the idea of Zemo's motivation,
Yeah.
why he hates super soldiers.
Yeah.
Basically derives from the fact that it like superpowers, superhumans
Yeah.
sort of is like a very fascist idea. And
Yeah.
he does not see that as good. That's
Yeah.
something I really like they went down.
Yeah.
My big thing is I feel like it also kind of shoots itself in the foot
Yeah.
on several occasions.
There was a
with
couple
it.
points where Zemo talking about like, like Captain America. I was like there's the one line that I think is not well written and clearly terribly thought out is like the he was talking about how like the super soldier serum corrupts, and then Bucky says, "What about Steve Rogers?" And then he goes, "True, but there's never been another Steve Rogers." And then I bring up the point like you were trying to kill Captain America a couple years ago. You never liked Steve Rogers. Why are you randomly like, yeah, but there's never been another Steve Rogers? Like you never liked him, so you already thought that the super soldier serum corrupted him. Why do you randomly like, yeah, I think Captain America's a great guy? Like that doesn't make sense to me. Yeah.
I was gonna say my big thing that bugs me, like that drove me nuts when I was watching it. I am not a fan of what they did with Carly, like the villain, basically, of the show. I mean, she's not really.
Oh yeah, I wasn't that.
Because like they're trying to basically,
I thought there was.
they're trying to get into.
I liked her motivation. I thought that was well done because I like Marvel taking a villain like that rather than I'm some all-powerful being from space that can destroy you instantly. And it was much more along this road of this is a common person whom saw like a issue in the world and like wanted to tackle it. And her mentality's flawed, obviously. But like I thought it was good that they like kind of went down that road and made her, even though she has a super soldier serum, made her much more of just a normal rebellious person. And I thought that was it was a more just grounded road to go on, other than there's some terrorist going causing trouble. He's bad because he's bad. It's just better. Yeah. So
My big thing is I feel like a lot of it was they were trying to have their cake and eat it too, because they definitely want to make her antagonistic threat, but they still want to make her likable.
Yeah, so there's a couple points where
they balanced it well.
Yeah.
Is the problem?
She's
and like
evil,
there's a whole thing which is like when Sam is like, I agree with your motivation, I don't agree with your like tactics.
Yeah.
And like I don't know, that kind of caught me off caught me the wrong way because I get what they're going for. They're trying to go into there are extremists on like any movement,
Yeah.
but I just felt like I'm like it doesn't work because
Yeah.
like they just basically basically episode 4 she's bad now.
Yeah.
You're supposed to like her, but she's murdering people now, and you're just
Yeah,
like,
there's
okay.
a couple things with like they want to tackle these big ideas and they just kind of don't seem to really handle them well. Despite the
Yeah.
fact that I enjoy most of it, I just think a lot of it isn't
Yeah.
handled all that well.
Which I think is my biggest issue with it.
Yeah.
Is it did a lot of stuff I liked, but it didn't come to a cohesive whole very well for me.
That's understandable.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. I think my biggest thing with it is it's just if it had a more constructed script, like they really like thought about this more and they had a much more dark and like challenging conclusion, if you will. I think it would have resulted in a like honestly possibly one of the best things Marvel's done, because the themes they're going at is not the problem. I love the themes they're going at. It's just they're not executed that amazingly. So it doesn't.
This is also another case of COVID affected the
Yeah, there is obviously the issue that like they can't get everything in because of COVID. Were WandaVision and Falcon filmed
there's
under?
an entire subplot that was dropped.
Oh wow. Well, I mean, I don't know if it needed another.
Like they were
plot.
gonna do something with like a virus, which I mean,
Yeah, I don't think that needed to happen.
but they basically scrapped that. So this was basically everything they had to like rework everything on the fly story wise.
Which I'm happier with Marvel doing 6-episode shows. I think they should keep that. I feel like WandaVision's okay with 9, but I would rather 6-episode shows. At the end of the day,
I think also WandaVision, because it had that sitcom formula, was able to play with it more. You know? Like because there was the story at it, but like I feel like if you go over 9, it kind of just gets.
We're
a little...
talking about the general like topics that they both discuss. I think Falcon and the Winter Soldier challenges like or tackles a much more ambitious and large idea. And it doesn't handle it as well as WandaVision does, but WandaVision tackles a pretty easy to tackle situation. Of yes, Wanda is a person who is traumatized. This obviously is not very well represented in every single movie she's been in and every time she's appeared on screen. So we're just gonna kind of tackle it.
Just in most superhero media, period.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, it's like there could be more. I don't know how to say like just more creative ways that they could have gone over that. And I think Falcon and Winter Soldier has a bigger concept, and I like it more. It just doesn't handle the concept as well as WandaVision handles its small concept. So, overall...
I still like it, though. It's not my favorite of any of the new releases.
Yeah, it's my favorite show of all the new ones. I think I was most invested in it, and I joined it the most. The characters were the most enjoyable, and I gained the most from it. So, it's not amazing, but I think it's solid for what it is. Ratings?
At least 6 out of 10.
Yeah.
A little closer to 7.
I'm landing in a
good, but not great.
Yeah. I'm landing in probably around an 8, like a higher 8. I'd probably give WandaVision like a low 8. I'd probably give this one a pretty high 8. I enjoy it a good amount, so it's not one of my favorite Marvel things, but for what it is, I'm satisfied with it. All right, next was Loki, right? Then it was Black Widow, because Loki started before Black Widow ended.
Black Widow came out like the week of Loki's finale.
Okay, Loki. No, I didn't dislike it. It's okay, but to be honest, by the end of it, I just at the end of the show, I just flat out said out loud, "What?" And to be honest, I have not. To be honest, I remember Falcon and Winter Soldier and WandaVision like 10 times better than I remember the show I finished like 2 weeks ago. Like, I don't know. I think my biggest issue with it is there's 2 really huge issues I have with it. Number 1, I just didn't really see why they wanted to introduce so much in so little time. Like, okay, now there's this TVA. there's this, there's that. And at a certain point, I was just like, okay, I get it. The world, there was a whole time thing, okay? I'm sorry that, like, there's this whole higher up power in Marvel that I never understood, okay? I'm sorry. Apparently, Thanos, they, like, in the first episode, they totally shoot down Thanos' power by making the Infinity Stones, like, paper holders. And I was like, are you kidding me?
Well, to be okay.
Like you decided to throw that into your Loki show, and like the whole plot of your massive Infinity War Endgame conclusion was about this all-powerful being, and then it's like now they're paper holders. It was just I don't know. It just felt weird to me. It just felt like
That's how anime works, Mark.
yeah,
That
I
is literally how
like
anime works.
then. I mean, I like some things from Ninjago, so maybe, but at the end of the day, that's just it
Thought
just
the
sucks.
Overlord was bad. Wait till you meet the Oni.
Oh, yeah. I have not. I'm still. I just finished season 10 a couple years ago. I'll do whatever. I think I'll do a third video. I think I will at some point, just for tradition's sake. Anyway,
I was actually gonna say like there is a reason for it in the comics, but they don't bring it up in the show. Apparently, like the stones only work in their universe. Like,
well,
they're
that would
in,
have made it a
so-
lot more. That would make it make more sense.
Yeah, they do it as like a simple this is more powerful type thing, and just,
Yeah, and I get the whole thing of Loki having this realization of is this the greatest power in the universe? And I was just like, why are you introducing the greatest power in the universe in your sideshow about the villain from Thor? I'm like, I also had the big issue that just the show doesn't feel like it's really about like the actual character Loki. It's about like this variant of Loki, and at the end it just kind of becomes about exposing the TVA. And I was just kind of sitting there like, why would why honestly, why does it need to be a Loki show when you think about it? Like, it could really be a show about any other Marvel character and it would still be fine. It just
I think
felt
for
weird.
me, the big thing that I like on a bit of a side note that I do love about Loki, which is why I think I like it more than like it's right underneath WandaVision, like above Falcon. What I do like about it is it's not really action heavy. It's more like the characters talking to each other
Yeah,
and
I liked
you know,
Loki's.
like free will, like
Yeah.
going into all this stuff, and I'm just like, this
Yeah.
is really creative.
That's the part I like.
My big thing is, I feel like I would have like all the way through loved it if they didn't pull the villain reveal of
Yeah.
the man who still remain, the one who remains.
I liked
and Kang and all that stuff
Yeah.
because I just was like, no.
I liked the idea of there being this just very casual guy ruling the universe. I thought that was kind of funny, like kind of creative. But when at the end they're like, actually no, the TVA is very purposeful, and if you kill me and do what you've been dying to do, trying to do this entire show, some weird thing is going to happen with the entire universe collapsing and having arguably the biggest conflict in Marvel history.
Yeah.
Like, just like, I would have much rather a smaller scale show about like Loki. I don't even know if I like. The more I think about it, the more I'm like, how do you even pull off a Loki show where you really pull off Loki? Because I also had the thought that was like, why is he good in this show? Like, why would Loki look at the fact that people don't have free will in the TVA and think to himself, this is wrong? This is an evil person, especially in like this. He came out of the Avengers. Like, this guy was fine with murdering thousands of people in New York, and now he's like, but people deserve free will? You were just about to rule Earth. Why do you care about it? And it's not like it's developed in the show. It's not like they kind of do this thing of like he like humbles himself, but why would he think like he's almost like, at least in Avengers, he's almost a psycho? Why is he not here? It just was really weird to me and kind of annoying. I
Well,
guess.
here's the thing. There was something I was pretty sure was gonna go down in episode 6 that I think would have really tied it together, like, better than what they did.
Yeah.
This is one of the reasons I was really frustrated with the finale.
Yeah, the finale is
I
easily
was
worse than
pretty
3.
sure the twist was gonna be it was an actual it was like a Loki variant who was in control of the TVA.
Yeah, that would be
Because
cool.
that way it would have tied the whole idea together. He would have had to face basically the worst version of himself.
Yeah,
It would work. It would make sense of why is this about the TVA and
yeah.
Loki.
And
You know,
you could also tie it together in one season rather than make it almost feels incomplete to me. Like it
yeah, because
almost
now
feels
they're
like
just
they're
going to
like
do a season two.
yeah, I know they're doing a season 2 and I'm like I'm cool with like a bit of a setup for a season 2, but like don't make it feel like an unfinished show cuz this doesn't feel
Yeah.
like a finished season. This feels like fragment of a season to me. The best part I think about it is Loki and Sylvia's relationship. I thought it was enjoyable, and I thought I thought they handled like a softer side to Loki pretty well. Like, I don't know. I thought that was entertaining enough for me, and it kind of kept me. It was the only thing that really kept me engaged the whole time.
It
So,
also helps that just Hiddleston and crap. What's the actress's name?
I don't.
It just really work well off
Yeah,
of each other,
yeah,
and
they have great chemistry as characters and as actors. They do.
yeah. So I really loved that
Yeah,
dynamic and all that stuff. So like just immediately being like, oh, now they're
yeah,
fighting because the
yeah,
the one guy, Jonathan Majors, said so.
yeah. The episode where they're on the planet
Just
that's
to
being.
set up Multiverse of Madness and
Oh
like
yeah, which I'm hyped as hell
No Way
for.
Home and the Mania. That's all it is for.
Yeah.
It's just they decide at the end to just set up all of Phase 4 immediately, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
oh, let the
My
Loki show be a Loki show.
yeah. My biggest issue, one of my biggest issues with the show, has so like I mentioned like Loki being out of character. Somebody brought up the episode where he gets drunk. Remember that when he like gets thrown out of the vehicle? And I was
Thought that was
just
hilarious. But yeah.
yeah, I thought it was funny. I enjoyed it, but like when I reflected on it, I was like, in the moment I was watching it when he was like, "No, of course I didn't get drunk." I was like, "Yeah, Loki, that would be so out of character. That'd not be good writing if Loki randomly got drunk." And then it came out, oh, he lied and he actually got drunk, and I was kind of sitting there like, "What? Like why would Loki do that?" Like there's just so many points in the show where I just don't get why Loki's doing what he's doing. It just felt weird to me. A lot of points character wise.
It's frustrating because it's like I would argue in some regards it's a much better show than WandaVision in spots.
In
Like
spots,
especially
maybe.
with the like especially with how much it prioritizes, characters interacting with each other and like discussing this sort of idea of free will,
Yeah.
what is actually good and bad, like stuff that's been handled before, but it's always interesting.
Yeah.
Instead, what they kind of go with is like just in the finale, just
Throwing some
we're
random
gonna
war
set up
thing.
everything.
I don't know. I think.
King Immortus. They're gonna have Kang and Immortus. They're the same guy now, and he's the same as the only one who remains. And I'm just like, okay.
I also, to be honest, the entire Loki.
What would have happened if Mephisto was the villain in WandaVision?
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Okay, honestly, to be honest, the planet with Loki's on it was honestly just stupid. I don't know why they went that road. Everything about that was just weird to me, and I was just like, this doesn't make any.
No joke,
sense.
that was my favorite episode in the whole show.
In like an ironic sense, my favorite episode of the show would probably be it might be episode 2. I don't know. I liked really I really liked the relationship Owen Wilson and Tom Hiddleston have. I thought that was just very entertaining to watch in that episode. And I liked the way it ended with Loki betraying because it proved he hasn't really changed, and I liked that. That and episode 3 were pretty solid.
3 is probably the best one, I think, because I love just Loki and Sylvie just talking to each other and learning more about each other.
I liked how in episode that could be one of my favorites too. I liked how in episode 4 they how they kind of threw the whole twist out, and they're like, yeah, they didn't have free will. And at the time I was kind of like, oh wow, that's gonna be a really deep message at the end. And at the end it's just kind of like because it felt weird at the end when they were actually the guys like the TVA needs to exist. And I'm like, so your whole idea and this whole show about free will being necessary, you just kind of throw out the window like, oh, but it needs to exist because some weird time war. That was just like weird
Well,
to
the thing
me.
that's so frustrating is like the whole thing is it's built around. They're trying to create the idea that he's basically the least bad version of like Kang and Mortis and all these other big Marvel villains because they're
Yeah.
just kind of combining all of them a bit.
Yeah.
But the problem is like, what I genuinely thought they were gonna do was, and I think could have worked really well, is if they had done it in sort of a way where, again, I feel like this is a problem that could have been fixed if it was like, is the bad guy, but because they're trying to set up Phase 4,
Yeah.
they're like, okay, we gotta create like this sort of last minute thing that
Yeah.
it doesn't defeat the point of the series, because now it's just like there's a new person in charge and controlling everybody. But it's just kind of like, ugh.
Yeah. Just overall,
It's sloppy.
overall,
Not
I think all
bad,
three.
but it's sloppy.
Overall, all three
would say.
shows I think are kind of messy, but
Yeah.
I think Loki takes the cake of messiest in my opinion. I honestly think in a lot of points it's kind of a disaster. It's not like terrible, but it's just like a lot of points I'm like, you really needed to spend another minute making sure this all connects and makes sense with literally everything. So, and if it's meant to be, oh, it doesn't
I
make
like
sense
your
yet.
Letterboxd review, the most mid-show Marvel's
Yeah,
ever made.
it's just mad for me. I think when it comes down to it, I'm just like, and even if it is this whole, oh, it's gonna set up things later, it kind of doesn't matter to me because when I judge a Marvel thing or just a film in general, I don't really care about the sequels and other things it's gonna spawn. I care about if the show is well written and does things well. And unfortunately, in my opinion, I don't think I can say that about Loki. So, everybody loves it. I honestly think it's kind of overrated so far.
Yeah. Again, it's something that bugs me a bit about Marvel is a lot of their best stuff. The best stuff for me are the ones that don't require you to need to know like too much about the universe and what it's setting up.
Yeah.
Something that always bugs me about Marvel is when they basically stop everything they're doing dead in their tracks,
Yeah.
set up something else. Like when it's a post-credit scene or a mid-credit scene, I like that because it's like,
Yeah.
okay, you know.
Whenever
But
you-
like when it's in the movie, it's just like I just want this.
Yeah, Marvel's
Here
been
and
good at
now.
that in the past. Like they've been good at keeping standalone Marvel movies standalone, like and making sure they stick to their path. But with a show like Loki, it's so obsessed with getting this larger world that Marvel wants to bring in later films in that it completely forgets the fact that this show is named Loki and it's about Loki. It's not about this grander theme. If you want to bring that grander theme in to another film or incorporate that grander theme with great development of Loki, that's good. But they kind of don't do that, and Loki just kind of waddles around doing whatever the script thinks he should do at the time. And it's just, at the end of the day, he just kind of, I think there's just so much inconsistency in it. And honestly, yeah, it's one of my least favorite Marvel properties so far. It's not like as boring as like Thor: The Dark World's Incredible Hulk or Captain Marvel, but it's not up there for me as one of my favorites at all. So I didn't have a bad time watching
Like a
it.
solid 7.
I
8,
think
like somewhere around there.
overall, I think I gave it a 6 on Letterboxd, but I'm also kind of leaning towards a 5. It's in that range of like 5 to 6 out of 10. It has its moments, and I didn't find most of it boring while watching it. There's a couple points where I loved it, and I was like, oh my gosh, I really got to get to the next episode. But at the end of the day, the more I think about it, the more I like process it, the worse it gets. So
Yeah.
yeah. All right, Black Widow now.
Okay. This one's gonna be a fun one.
It's good.
Oh.
I forgot about it the second it ended, but it was good. I truly cannot tell you there was like anything that blew me away about it. It's just a fun action movie that literally could be totally removed from Marvel and nothing would change. Despite the credits scene, I guess. That's like it. One thing I will say I really like is I really like Florence Pugh.
Oh, she is like easily the best part of the whole
Yeah, I think
movie.
I think Scarlett Johansson really lacked for me. Like I just
Mm.
did not. I felt so like disconnected from her, despite the fact that I've seen Black Widow in all these films. It just felt so weird the whole time. I was just like, why do I not care about Black Widow right now? Like, why do I just not care about it? And I just felt like Scarlett Johansson didn't really enhance it. But Florence Pugh had a really entertaining character. She was funny. She was exciting. She's just a great actress anyway, and I think she murdered that role. It was amazing. Normally, I wouldn't say
For
murdered
me, I
when
feel like
talking
Black
about
Widow was less.
film, but I thought it was great. I think,
I was gonna say, like, I feel like for her, I feel like Black Widow is weird because it's like on paper it's about like Black Widow, but it kind of just ends up being about her movie, really.
yeah, it just kind of ends
She's the
up,
one who has like big like motivation and like with her like like this. She's lived her entire life as this, and yeah, there's the
yeah,
whole thing of like Black Widow having to put aside her past and stuff, but it's literally just a setup. Her,
yeah.
which I'm
They,
okay with because Florence Pugh is great. So
yeah, they could have absolutely like. I think okay. Here's what somebody pointed out. I was watching Jeremy John's review of it, and he pointed this out very well. The film, at a lot of points, seems like a bunch of just things Marvel's already done stringed together to make a complete movie. Like, there's that whole thing of like, you have this big car chase in the city. You have all these big action sequences. Okay, let's go to the country to settle down and calculate our next move. Then you have this big action scene on a floating facility falling from the sky. It's like, yep, you've done a lot of this already, and it's not really interesting anymore. The thing I found I think my favorite scene in the film has to be Black Widow and her masters, like the conversation they have.
oh, like in Act 3 when she's
Yeah.
fighting.
And when he's like, and when she like can't hit him,
Literally
and he's like,
rewatched it yesterday,
yeah,
and I
and when
can't remember the bad guy's name, but yeah, that scene's decent.
yeah, I thought he did a really cool performance. I thought he was entertaining in that scene, and I just thought it was all well done. Action wise, I don't think I could say the movie's that incredible to me. It's all fun, but the car chase to me was just a standard Marvel car chase. With obviously the fact that the whole time I was thinking,
passable, like you guys say.
yeah, there was a couple points in that car chase where I was just like, why is this so ridiculous? Like when they crash the subway, when they crash the car down the rails into the subway, and then they have literally no injuries, like maybe a cut hand. And after that, I was just like, okay, I'm fine with bending my disbelief for Marvel and like other action films, but come on, like
And they do get like
really,
they do go like to like a convenience store and like grab medication like painkillers. And,
yeah,
I don't think like Tylenol, for example, is gonna help you very much. But
yeah. I need some
it's whatever.
Tylenol after a freaking car wreck, like the car
Got
wreck.
stabbed. I need some Tylenol.
Yeah.
Uh,
It was like the what was
I
the
do like
one?
that though, of just like they're just being beat senselessly like the whole movie.
Yeah.
Like that's more engaging, I feel, than just they're unstoppable the whole time.
Yeah.
So
The
I
best moment
appreciate
in the
that.
film is either that conversation with Black Widow and her like old master, or it's Florence Pugh talking about how great her vest is. One of those two things. I thought that was hilarious. That was much more clever Marvel humor than normal because it was very dry and felt very. I almost want to look up if that's like improvised. For some reason, I was watching that. I was like, this seems so
I
natural.
keep feeling
none-
like it would be.
Yeah, she's like, I love my vet. It has all these pockets in it. It's amazing. And for some reason, it felt so raw and like real to me. It almost took me out of the film for a second. I was like, why does this feel like real human emotion?
I'm
Like-
like, this is so sweet.
Yeah.
She's just so happy to have like a vest.
Yeah, it was. I liked the relationship Florence Pugh and Black Widow held. I thought that was entertaining. I thought that was the best part of the whole thing. Taskmaster though.
Yeah, I have thoughts.
No, that was bad. I thought the Taskmaster at first. I was like, okay, so they're just gonna make it a really boring, standard, voiceless action guy who can beat anyone up, and it's like, okay, you've done this 100 times already, and then they do their little reveal with it, which makes no sense and adds the most
I don't
pointless arc to the film.
mind the reveal, but it literally is like halfway through Act 3 when it happens. So
Yeah.
there's almost no time to process
I
it. It's
think
just like, okay,
I think the only issue with it was I
that's who
just
Taskmaster is.
yeah, I just didn't find it like that interesting. Like why would Taskmaster like why would like this being oh this girl that she almost killed years ago and feel so guilty about it? Like when that happened, I just kind of reflected like wait, why should I care? Like why is this and why would this be interesting? And it's like at the end of the day, it just felt like a very pointless road to go on. I would have much rather Taskmaster just be a boring I'm gonna kill you villain over this kind of weird and fumbled point of her sorrow of her old days. There's just a better Black Widow movie that they just decided not to make, in my opinion.
Again, it's there, and I think it could have worked really well. I like the idea. Like as a whole, I'm like, this is a cool idea to do for like. Basically, she has to do it to like get over her, like her past. But it just kind of again, it comes out and it just comes in Act 3.
Yeah.
It's like okay, and then they don't do anything.
Yeah, it's just kind of there.
Like she like obviously like gets her off the mind control thing and like says she's sorry and I was just kind of like okay.
Yeah. It's like I'm okay with the entire like idea of kind of tackling this idea of her like sorrow and her pain of killing all these people in the past. But it just really, when I logically thought about it, I was just like, there is no need to take it down this road, and it's just weird, honestly.
Not gonna lie, when I was watching it the first time, part of me was like, okay, it's gonna be either the girl or, and this is something I kind of feel like, I don't think it would have worked, but I'm like, setting up like several times Black Widow's mom, like her real mom. So I was about to be like, oh, is that gonna be the twist now?
That would have been neat. That would have been neat.
Would have been like an okay.
Yeah, it would have been like okay.
That's the same issue, but it would have been like
Yeah. I noticed this about the film. There's that scene at the end when she's walking towards like the Quinton jet, and then she says something like, "I guess I do have two families." And I was like, wait, was there a message in this film about family? I didn't catch it. Was that a thing that they wanted to put in it? Because they totally didn't do well with implanting that in there. Like, it's there.
I feel like the family, like the dynamic was the strongest stuff for me.
I like the
really
dynamic.
That whole thing.
I liked the dynamic of the.
Do anything else.
I like the dynamic of the family, but I honestly felt like the note that so the movie has a very hard time with balancing emotion with action, and that scene where they're all in the when they're taking their time to relax and plan their next move, like Black Widow hates this family. She doesn't think it's her real family, and she even complains, saying I every Christmas I knew the boxes were fake, but I pretended they were real because I wanted a real life. That whole plot was so annoying to me because I was like, oh, so she doesn't really like this family, and then at the end she randomly really likes her family, and I was just like, it didn't make sense to me. It made a lot when it was this whole thing of apparently her stepmom actually was working with the villains the whole time, and then it ended up not being the case. I was like, it was honestly more believable that her stepmom would have been working with them. That honestly felt more believable to me.
It could have just been like, oh yeah, she would totally betray us, and that's how we get into the Red Room.
Yeah, I would have. I don't know. I honestly would have preferred that. I honestly just think.
I don't mind the double reveal, just because I'm like, that's very spy-esque.
Yeah.
The problem is, I don't think it works as a third act on a functional sense.
Yeah. There was a time in it where I was like, oh wait, this is the third act. When I was
watching it for the first time, I thought it was the end of Act 2.
Yeah, honestly, same. I was like, oh wait, we're going into the third act now? What? It just felt so.
It was right as the skydiving scene was happening. I'm like, wait.
Yeah.
This is Act 3. This has been Act 3 the whole time.
Yeah. Another one of my biggest issues, I think, with the whole film.
That drove me nuts. No.
Yeah. One of the things that I noticed this from trailer 1. I criticized this when I saw the first trailer. I did a reaction to trailer 1 when that came out. I remember saying in the trailer, I was really excited for this Black Widow movie to be a more grounded Marvel film about possibly her getting revenge or just being a more being more like a John Wick kind of thing, you know, Atomic Blonde kind of thing.
I thought it was gonna be about Budapest or something, like the
Yeah.
full Budapest.
Oh yeah, I also liked that idea too. I thought that was an interesting plot. But instead they're just like, we'll just throw this weird, overly hyped kind of thing that happened between Civil War and Infinity War, that sets up questions that like answers questions that no one asked. Like, I don't think anybody was sitting there like, why does she have white hair? And where did she get that vest? I don't think anybody was asking that. They're not gonna.
It's the Solo problem of the Han Solo movie, where it's like, what did Han Solo get his last name?
Yeah.
Some random like
Solo is just a string of answering questions that nobody ever asked.
How did Solo get his gun? Well, this one guy threw it to him.
I'm like, how did Disney lose $300 million?
Firing Lord and Miller halfway through the movie.
Yeah, you shot yourself in the foot with that entire film.
Guaranteed the Lord and Miller movie would have been so much better.
I know. Solo,
guys are nuts.
Straight up,
they are.
My review of Solo is so dated. I don't think it's a good movie, to be honest. I just don't even think it's a good movie.
I never liked it. I thought it was okay. Like, that's the highest nice thing
I thought it was pretty good, and then like with time, I was like, gosh, this movie's just boring. It's just so boring. Anywho, Black Widow, should we rate it?
I'd say like a 7 out of 10. It's
I think I'm saying
mid-tier
like
Marvel.
7. I sounded pretty critical the whole time, but I'll say I wasn't bored at all watching it. I was pretty entertained the whole time. The thing about all of these shows is my thoughts on them sound way more negative than my actual rating, and that's just because I wasn't bored during any of them. A couple points in Loki I was bored, and a couple points in Black Widow, but at the end of the day, I haven't disliked anything Marvel's put out this year, but nothing I've loved yet, you know?
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like it just... I'm hopeful the other projects will at least...
I'm really banking on Shang-Chi, because
Me too.
what I think Marvel needs right now is let's introduce some new things, because like new characters fully. I think the visuals look awesome. I hope what they do here, so Black Panther perfectly handled this. Let's combine the African culture with like this modern American culture. They did that amazingly. Shang-Chi, I fully hope can pull that off. Like, just pull that same tone off. So, I think it'll be a very entertaining big... It'll be the better kung fu blockbuster of 2021.
Snake Eyes.
Yeah, and Snake Eyes. I think it looks pretty good to me. I haven't seen the second trailer yet, but at the end of the day, I like what I've seen. It looks good to me.
I'll say one thing the one thing that Shang-Chi has is its cinematographer is Bill Pope.
Oh yeah, the cinematography looks amazing.
Matrix, Scott Pilgrim, Baby Driver.
That's a good track record right there.
So I'm crossing my fingers.
Yeah, like visually, that trailer was awesome, just awesome. So
yeah,
I haven't seen the second one yet though. Once I see the second one, I might have more of a fleshed out opinion on it.
Oh, the second one's even better.
Sick. Okay, I'll watch it right after this episode.
I'm so excited.
What? Okay, what is it?
Eternals?
Oh, what's the other one? Eternals looks cool. I don't get it yet.
I'm excited for it. I'm excited because of Chloe Zhao.
Yeah. My brother brought up the point that it looks like there might be a lot of characters in it. So, hopefully it doesn't get too flooded.
But I'm not quite like hyped like Shang-Chi necessarily.
Yeah, I'm much more excited for Shang-Chi. I would be more excited for No Way Home if I had any idea of what was going to happen in it. I'm excited for it simply because I like the first two, but yeah. Is that coming in December?
It should be. We just haven't had a trailer.
Yeah,
yet.
And it's almost August. That's like kind of unheard of.
I think it's going to come next week with Suicide Squad. I would not be shocked.
Well, why? Okay, why would Marvel release a trailer for a DC film? Like. Well,
it would be more just because they're both superhero releases.
I am watching
the closest way.
I'm watching Suicide Squad the minute it is on HBO. I am so excited. It looks so amazing to me. I hate the original, and I'm so hopeful that this is a better version of it.
Just like, thank goodness James Gunn has come.
Yes, that is such a better choice than... I don't even remember who directed the first. The first is... The more I've gone on, I've learned that I don't think there's a single good thing about the first. Like, I don't like anything. Like, not even Harley Quinn. But this one looks like it has like a fun cast, a ridiculous plot, comedy, action. Also, honestly, an R rating I think was deserved for Suicide Squad.
Appreciate Polka Dot Man's in it.
Yeah. Also, just like just like the shark guy. Like, they're just gonna have a shark in it. Like, yeah, we're gonna be totally ridiculous with this. We're not gonna take this way too seriously. That's a perfect road to go on. And James Gunn is such an entertaining director. I don't expect anything but a great film. So that is the only time I've been excited for a DC movie in a very long time. So looks better than the Snyder Cut.
That's kind of it.
The most overrated thing of 2021.
Everything else I could. Yeah.
I don't like. DC's a fumbled mess right now. I don't know where they're going. Like, honestly, like, I don't know if they have any idea of what the next move is. So.
Oh, the new Batman movie.
Yeah, that looks cool. I like the trailer a lot. So.
I was gonna say like Far From Home or what?
Yeah. With No Way Home, I think one thing I want is I just want better cinematography. That is the biggest issue with Homecoming and Far From Home. The cinematography is so boring.
Actually, I'm gonna pull it up. I'm gonna look up who the cinematographer is. Real
If it's the same as the first two, that kind of lowers my hype. But if it's better, that's cooler. There's like...
I'm gonna check who did Home, because I think it might be two different people. Maybe.
I think it's a good title for a third in the trilogy, considering the Home. I don't know why they really need...
So the first one was done by Salvatore Tortino.
Okay.
He's done a bunch of other movies. He did Space Jam this year.
I haven't seen it
like
yet.
Everest and like
he did Everest. I wonder how good that cinematography is. That's a movie that like needs good cinematography though.
I really enjoy Everest. It's a good
I haven't
movie.
seen it. I probably should because my dad's a crazy mountaineer, so I should probably watch it. But
so no, it's not the same. The second one was done by Matthew J. Lloyd, and he's not doing the.
Okay, because both those films I think had kind of boring visuals to me. Like it just had a.
It's James McGarvey.
What's his track record look like?
Did the first Avengers, Greatest Showman, 2014 Godzilla.
Oh, okay, that's pretty amazing. Okay, he has a long track record. Godzilla has amazing
he's done a lot. He's got some great stuff, but it's more dependent on the director, I feel.
Yeah.
Your cinematography is not the problem with that movie's color palette.
Yeah. I think I like the other two Spider-Mans, so I don't know why I wouldn't be excited for it. But I just need more to think about. Like, I need more to talk. Like, I need more to think. Like, okay, what is this going to look like? I have no idea what it looks like.
My big thing that worries me with it, and this is something that bugs me, and it's why it's, like, out of the movie, like, the movies upcoming this year, it's my least anticipated.
Yeah.
It's pointing in the multiverse. They're gonna do multiverse stuff, and I don't think they're gonna do Spider-Verse like people want. There have been a lot of stuff that's gonna be bad guys from other.
To be honest,
Spider-Man movies.
You know how much of a fan I am of the first Spider-Verse. Like that's my favorite movie. Yeah. Period. Like that movie is perfect. Spider-Verse 2 is of the next like 10 years. Over the next like few years, movies that are like coming out, Spider-Verse 2 is a mile as my most hyped movie.
Yeah, but I feel like that one is a different situation from this because
I'm worried. I don't want the MCU to collide with Spider-Man.
From the previous Spider-Man movies, like outside of Marvel, back in.
Yeah,
and like I feel it's reminding me of Spider-Man 3 on Raimi and Amazing Spider-Man 2 again. They keep doing this.
Yeah, my biggest thing with it is that this isn't. Thankfully, Marvel's on it. Marvel is capable of making great things. Like in my opinion, the worst Marvel movie is miles better than either Amazing Spider-Man movie. So
yeah.
And honestly, I just think Sony can't.
I'm worried about.
Yeah, I guess I'm a little worried. I don't want Spider-Verse and the MCU to collide. I kind of want Spider-Verse to do its own thing. Because I think
Yeah.
the directors of Spider-Verse are really handling this well and they know what they're doing. And as long as they can just pull off a really well done cinematic universe, I cannot wait for whatever that entails. But with the Marvel stuff, I'm cool with the Marvel multiverse as long as they don't do this plot of, oh, let's bring Iron Man back from the dead with this. Because that's just like, come on. Like, he had the perfect conclusion. Don't do that. Or Captain America. Don't do either of those.
Yeah.
Next after that is Doctor Strange, right?
Yes, Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness.
I'm excited because I think it's going to be weird, and I want Marvel to do weird things. So
Sam Raimi's directing, which I am so happy for.
yeah, that's a good idea.
Like he, perfect.
Yeah. Thing with it, I like Doctor Strange as a character. Isn't there the thought that it could be like a horror movie?
Well, the plan was they were gonna do it as like some kind of horror thing, and Scott Derrickson was gonna originally do it that way. He decided to leave just because he didn't like where it was going. He's now just a producer on it, but they've gotten Sam Raimi to do it.
That's a good choice. I think the original Doctor Strange, the original Doctor Strange has like this very like it has a lot of points where it has this very cool idea of just these really weird visuals and just creative visuals. And I think if they just enhance that like crazy, it could be fun. It could be like a Marvel acid trip. That'd be awesome. I want this to just be weird. I want them to go all out with it. So I'm excited for it though. I think it might be
Hopefully they'll do some stuff with Marvel Zombies, although they're doing that more with What If, I think.
Oh, yeah, I haven't seen the trailer for What If yet. I've heard it looks good though, so it seems like an interesting.
It's coming soon.
When does it come out?
I think it's August.
Oh wow, it's that soon. Wow, I forgot about that. Well, I'll watch the trailer and see what that's feeling.
Marvel.
Okay. Isn't after that? Isn't it? There were 4 movies in 2022, and isn't the one after that? I thought it was Thor. Yeah, I'm so ready. Like, I need that Ragnarok sequel. I need it. I think.
Like, if I don't have it, there will be consequences.
Yes. I think. Who's the director again? Taika Waititi. Yeah. Okay. Recently, I've become a huge fan of that guy. He is so amazing at his work. With Thor Ragnarok. With Thor Ragnarok and Jojo Rabbit, he has cemented himself for me.
Jojo Rabbit.
Yeah, Jojo Rabbit was amazing. That is up. Everybody needs to see the movie. That was incredible, honestly. Did that guy nominated for Best Picture?
Yes.
Yeah,
it didn't win anything. But...
I know it didn't win. It didn't deserve. It didn't deserve to win Best Picture over Marriage Story or Parasite, but I'm happy it was nominated. So.
Actually, finally saw that a couple of.
Which one? Parasite?
Months ago, Parasite.
You like it?
Yeah.
Good. That movie's
nuts.
I know, yeah. That movie's like one of the best things I've ever. It is crazy, and I love it. It's not even like a genre really. Every time I review the film, I still refuse to talk about the plot because I have officially just stuck by this thing of just saying Parasite is a masterpiece. It's a 10 out of 10. You need to watch it without knowing what the plot is or the premise. Like, I went into it that way, and it was amazing because of that. Like, me trying to figure out what was going on was what made it so good. So, crazy weird.
I'll admit, I walked on the second half of it, though. Like, all nuts.
Yeah. I remember...
so I had to rewatch the rest of it.
Oh, yeah. I feel like rewatching it would be hard. It'd be like 1917. I haven't seen 1917 twice. I've only seen it once. It was a great movie. Great movie. I just only saw it once. That was a... Dang. 2019 was such a good year for film.
Agreed.
Yes, so many. That Best Picture nomination list, that was the first time I had seen all of them, and the worst was like Little Women, which was a great movie. Like... That was a great list of films right there. I would recommend everyone watch all of those films because they're all amazing. So
I think I've been disconnected.
I mean, oh, have you not been able to talk? I was wondering why you weren't talking.
I think I got disconnected out of nowhere, and I was like, "What the?"
Sorry about that. Well, should we move
I was
on?
about to ask what we should talk about next.
Well, I mean, there's other Marvel
Okay.
things. There's a Captain Marvel sequel, which I do not care about at all.
It's being done by Nia DaCosta, who's doing the new Candyman, at least.
Oh yeah, I'm probably not gonna watch it to be honest. There's a
I'm interested in that one,
yeah.
generally.
I guess okay with the upcoming films like
Like
this
the
in the
first
next few
Marvel.
years. The ones okay, I'm hyped as hell for Dune. I cannot wait.
Agreed.
Looks so amazing. But like so 2020. Oh, I haven't seen In the Heights yet. I still haven't seen it.
Oh, really good.
Yeah, it left HBO Max, and I'm so pissed off. I was about to watch it, and then like the day it left, it was the day I was gonna watch it. So,
Oh.
once it goes back on, though, I'm watching it instantly. I need to see that.
I think it's coming on like Blu-ray in August or something, so probably on Redbox
okay.
soon.
Okay. Well, I feel like once it goes to like Blu-ray, why wouldn't they put it on Max? And if it's not on Max, then I'll just rent it from Redbox or Amazon or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm trying to avoid doing things with Amazon because it's come to light how horrible Jeff Bezos is. But maybe I'll just use Amazon for that one thing.
Jeffrey Bezos.
Yes.
Jeffrey
Have you seen that? Have you seen
Bezos.
that? The Inside?
Yes,
special?
I have seen Bo Burnham's
Oh my
Inside.
god. That was amazing. That yeah,
I
no.
literally did not know a single thing about it aside from
Yeah,
Bo
I heard it was
Burnham is,
amazing, and I've always enjoyed Bo Burnham's comedy because I watch a lot of stand-up comedy, and I love Bo Burnham. But yeah, no, that was incredible. That's currently my favorite movie of the year. If it's really a movie, I put it at number one just because I was like, oh, why not? I'm not taking this that seriously.
I have it at number 2. It's underneath Barb Star, but it is like easily the standout piece of filmmaking.
You know the nice
like,
thing
of the
about it
whole
is
year.
it's gonna qualify on my top 10 favorite albums of 2021 because it's an album on Spotify, and I've ranked it and I've given it like an A, so it's there. It's like my 4th favorite album of the year, I think. 4th or 5th. Like it works as an album. It's not. I think the special version's better, but they're both amazing.
Yeah.
So. Also, now I can listen to Jeffrey Bezos whenever I want.
You did it!
CEO entrepreneur. Yeah, I have that. Also, that All Eyes on Me song, that conclusion song, wow.
Is stressful as all heck,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
You know, okay, there was one thing I wanted to talk about because I mentioned this before. I wanted to talk about like Pixar because nobody's discussing this and how Pixar has been kind of, in my opinion, lacking. Like, you there still? Just making sure.
Trying to get it back on the ground again due to like a lot of stuff behind the scenes.
There's a lot of mess with like what's the guy who got like who got fired?
John Lasseter.
Yeah, John Lasseter.
He was the original leader.
He was exposed for doing some horrible things. And he got
and so it's now just Pete Doctor. So that's why Soul's kind of his
and I know
song
and I know the road they're taking, and I like the concept of it. It's like I think they're fully focusing on original films now, and I'm like, yes, I was tired of the sequels. But now with all their original films, like the past 3 they've put out, what would have been? Like, okay, Toy Story 4 has grown off me crazy since it came out. I think it's just a pretty good movie now, maybe okay. But with Onward, Soul, and Luca, they're all good movies that I don't think reach their potential. Like, I think Soul...
It's weird, I think Luca's my favorite of the 3 we've gotten.
I think it's my
far.
least...
Because I like
favorite.
Soul. Because I liked Soul, but my big thing with Soul is I kind of feel like it goes a little... It kind of... it gets so into like what it's trying to say that I kind of
Yeah.
get to a point where I'm like, okay,
To be honest, I think it
still
need.
a
I
great
think
movie,
Soul
but
needed
it's,
another 10 to 20 minutes of runtime. I think it needed more time to
yeah,
explore it. I think with Luca, my
exceptional
thing.
movie
Yeah, I
regardless.
watched Luca really late, but when I finally watched it, what hit me about the film is what I like about it is I like how small scale it is. It's not really that
Yeah.
big of a film. It's just about these two like sea monsters trying to do this race. And it's a very cute film in that sense, and I thought the animation was lovely, and I really liked that. I thought it was a very nice film in that sense, but the reason why I never loved it was that just at the ends, it just kind of rounded up being a lame kids movie. Like I had this thought of like, wow, they're kind of they clearly could go down some really cool message with the fact of these sea monsters being seen as monsters when really they're just normal people. Like they could go down some really cool road with that. And what they decided to do instead was just kind of, oh, but they all lived happily ever after. And I was just kind of like, really? Like, this is Pixar. You guys are supposed to, like, go for it, you know? Let's do the really heartbreaking thing, like, really get to the gut. And at the end of the film, I was just like, oh, it was nice. And then it just kind of ended. It was just kind of a nice kids movie, you know?
I would actually argue I like it for that.
That's, yeah, I
'Cause
can
my
see
big
that.
fear with Pixar has it's been it has been so prioritized with like we have to like go bigger and crazier and like
Yeah,
more into these like things, but I'm like I feel like as a result
yeah,
kind of lost me a bit. Like I feel like there's been a slight like I've loved like a lot of the stuff they've still released. I mean, I
yeah.
enjoyed Onward, I love Soul. But for me, I've kind of hit a point where I'm like I don't want to like I'm kind of tired of Pixar movies just being here to try and make you cry as hard as possible.
Yeah, which
Like
that's the thing with it is I'm like, I like that being
I'm
the
getting tired of it,
yeah,
and
I get that, but what I'm thinking about it is Pixar is just good at real emotion, like just raw
yeah.
emotion. And when I feel like a movie like Luca wants to pull off real raw emotion, but then it kind of holds back, like I feel like Onward did it well. Onward has that really amazing ending to it.
It's Act Three is amazing.
Yeah, I wasn't crazy about the whole dragon battle, but the whole thing with his dad, oh my gosh, that left me in tears. And when I say a film left me in tears, even though I could say I'm like tired of Pixar doing it, at the same time, recently since they've been doing it so little, it's like it's kind of means less to me now. Like whenever like I see it, like when I saw Toy Story 4, I cried because I thought that ending was so good, and the ending's still great. The whole film is just kind of okay to me, but like it feels like it's going to be start becoming a rare thing if they keep doing films that are like Luca, because Luca's nice, it's good. It's just kind of forgettable for me, and I'm probably not gonna
For
think
me,
about it
I
much.
feel like the thing I do like the most about Luca is for me I felt like they did capture that sort of raw emotion. They
It
just didn't
almost
go
does for me.
complicated. They
Yeah,
went simple. And
yeah,
I like that, and I like that they were more about how can we do the story as simply as possible,
yeah.
but
Maybe like if I
efficiently.
watched it again, I would like more because my sister hyped me up and said it's like, oh, it's the best thing Pixar's done in years. And then I watched it and I was like, oh, it's
You're like,
okay.
that's it.
Yeah, I was like, oh, that's the ending that you hyped up like crazy. So at the end of the day, I
I also like that
wanna love it,
it's
but
probably the first time in a Disney or Pixar movie that there has been a straight up bad guy in a while.
oh yeah, which felt weird to me, but like it was nice and simple, I guess. I don't know. Definitely, definitely felt like they were reaching for some theme about prejudice or not. Yeah, prejudice, and they're like reaching for that theme, and then they just kind of backed off at the end, and they're like, nah, we're okay. And I'm like, I'm okay if you don't go for the theme, but don't reach for it and like feel like you're pushing it and then not go there. Like I feel like the past few Pixar films, especially this and Soul, have teased something and they've gone towards something and then kind of pulled back at the end and just been like, "Oh, we're not going there. That's too hard." And I'm like, "Well, you're Pixar. You could do that." You know?
I'm excited for Turning Red, though.
I'm excited
That I'm
because it's
actually looking forward
Pixar,
to.
but hopefully
Yeah.
honestly, I think they can go down. This is a road they haven't done yet, and that is like teenage emotion. I think that could be. I think it would be heartwarming for anyone who's a parent. I think that could be good.
That's being done. The Turning Red is from the person who did the Bow short in front of Incredibles 2.
I don't know if I. Oh yeah, that short was okay. It was kind of.
So I'm actually really looking forward to that because I'm like I
Bow
freaking loved that short.
Bow was more emotionally gripping than the Incredibles 2 itself.
I'm excited for that one. I like the premise. I don't have anything to say on Lightyear.
Is that the one after it?
Yeah, which is like it's Buzz Lightyear, and he was a real person, you guys. Evans is playing him.
Is that actually the plot? So it's like a Toy Story thing?
It's gonna be like the real astronaut that the toy is based off of or something.
What the hell? That's stupid. That's a dumb concept. I don't know.
Yeah, my response when I heard that at the Investor Day was just
Pixar will.
What?
Hopefully, if Pixar does Pixar, they'll make a masterpiece out of it. The last amazing Pixar movie, in my opinion, was Coco. Like that's the last.
Because I'm pretty on Coco myself. I like Coco, but I'm just kind of like.
I've seen it a few too many times because it's literally played at like every event. But I think I just loved the way they tackled it, and that ending, yeah, that hits every time.
Oh, it's got an amazing ending though.
Yeah, just incredible. There was a time when Pixar was only putting out amazing movies, and now, yeah, they definitely had a downcline at some point. So they're still arguably the best.
The good news is they're basically still. That's what I was about to say. They're still basically the best out there so far.
Still okay. So like we have Sony that's putting out like Spider-Verse, and then they're like, oh my god, Spider-Verse masterpiece. Oh my gosh, Hotel Transylvania 4. Who asked for it?
Okay. Mitchell's versus the Machines, though.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen that. Is that good?
Hey, you gotta check it out.
Yeah, I've heard some pretty good things about it.
It's Lord and Miller and the Gravity Falls, one of the Gravity Falls writers.
Okay. Me and my brother were looking at that. If I tell him, my brother's the biggest Gravity Falls fan, and we're the huge fans of like Lego Movie stuff. So if I tell him,
it's not Alex Hirsch, but it is one of the writers on Gravity Falls who worked with Alex Hirsch, and it's fantastic.
Yeah. One thing I was gonna add. Okay, you know the Disney, like animated Disney movies.
Yeah.
Like Raya and Frozen.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. What happened? Like, honestly, like I haven't liked much things from them for a while. Like, they used to be still kind of keeping up with the old 90s Disney did of let's kind of put out these original good films, but recently I've just not liked them, honestly. Like, I did not like Frozen 2. To be honest, I just thought it was good.
I like Frozen 2, but I don't like Ralph Breaks the Internet as the thing.
Yeah, I don't like Ralph much. I loved it when I first watched it. I gave it like a 9 out of 10, and now I'm like probably at like a 6 out of 10 maybe. Frozen 2 for me, just, I don't know, man. That movie just did not... I don't like the original anyway, and I don't think Frozen 2 did anything for me. What was... Raya, though.
Raya, actually, though.
Raya, for me, just... I don't know. I did not care for it. Like, I liked things, but at the end of the day, it just felt like Moana in China. Like...
Well, technically, in Big China, it would be like...
Or just...
It's more closer to Vietnam.
Yeah, it's more like...
It's based around...
Yeah, I'm technically wrong there. It's more like Southeast Asia. Whatever I'm saying, I just mean it just felt like too similar to Moana for me. Like, I didn't find anything that investing in it. I liked the themes of trust. That was probably my favorite thing about it. But, the dialogue was rough. Like all those lines.
Like, yeah, I can see your point.
Like, oh, come on. Like, there's just so many cringy lines in the whole film that totally took me out of it. Most of the movie was dedicated to me, my sister, and my dad just making fun of every little thing. Like, why? When everybody died, was this baby separated from his parents, didn't grow up, and turned to a life of crime. That's the whole baby's plot. Like, that's not a problem.
That, like, the baby just existed. They just said, frick it, we're gonna have a criminal baby in this.
Yeah, that's not the problem with it. It's just a funny thing I noticed. Boss Baby 2 is a real thing. I'm not watching it.
I saw that.
I'm not watching it. I don't want to say it. I don't like the first. Why was the first even a thing?
Money.
Yep.
When in doubt, money. Whenever
Never
you
need to
wonder why something got made, money.
Yeah. The other thing we thought about talking about was Star Wars. Do we need to talk about that though? I don't know. Star Wars got boring, in my opinion.
Do I want to talk about Star Wars?
Yeah. It's gonna be weird if I rag on the Last Jedi.
I brought this up to you before we started this. I was just like, man, I just kind of just like Star Wars, and I don't care about anyone anymore or any of the new ones.
Understandable.
I'm just gonna keep with what we have.
I think I might just kind of pick and choose what I decide to watch from Star Wars. Like, I'm like, okay, that looks kind of interesting. Because honestly, when I watched Clone Wars Season 7, The Bad Batch was so annoying. And I was like, how are you going to turn that into a good show? My brother Saudi likes it, so maybe I'll like it too. But Bad Batch and what's the other one? Mandalorian Season 2.
Yeah.
There's some things I've heard about Season 2 that make it sound very unappealing, so don't know if
I was not a fan of Season 2 very much.
All of the things I've heard about just like, oh my gosh, this old character is in it, and that one, I'm like, come on, it's the Mandalorian. Let it be its own kind of creative Western crime show, rather than throwing in all these old things just to capture the fans' attention. There's going to be a Season 3, undoubtedly. I don't know when that's happening, though.
No, there is. They just haven't filmed it yet.
Yeah. Whatever. People literally gog over it because there's a fucking little kid Yoda. And now everybody loves it, so.
Yeah. Again, I love Season 1.
It was okay,
and I just was not a big fan of Season 2. So. Yeah.
At the end of the day, I'm just like, I'm tired of Star Wars.
Season 2 actually is I think the only thing in Star Wars that's actually made me mad. Like, actually made me mad.
I mean, the first
I've
two...
been able to handle a lot of, like, the dumb stuff in it, but, like, after that, I was like, I don't care
Honestly,
anymore.
There's probably more things in Star Wars that make me mad than things that don't.
Yeah.
I think the only Star Wars... The only Star Wars properties that don't have anything...
It's a very, like, quality different thing.
Yeah.
It's just so varied in quality.
I think
The only thing
in Star Wars that doesn't make me mad at all is the original trilogy. And maybe some of the Clone Wars. That might just be it, though. Like, mostly the prequels, the sequels. It's not that everything else is bad, it's just that everything else is flawed. Like, those first two films are damn perfect. I even have an Empire Strikes Back poster on my wall, which I don't have. That's the only independent film I have a poster for. Like, everything else on my wall is, like, franchises, and I have this Empire Strikes Back poster. Because it's, like, my second favorite film. It's a masterpiece.
Yeah.
Just, Star Wars...
I was gonna say, I still like Star Wars, but it is flawed. And that's something that's frustrating because you have a fan base asking for perfection, and it never happens.
Yeah. They're gonna milk this dry. Like, after, what do we got? Like, an Ahsoka show, a Boba Fett show,
Obi-Wan, Lando.
Is there a
Lando
Lando
thing? Show or something?
Is there a Lando
Lando's
thing? Oh my...
That's a Lando, yep.
Jesus Christ, why? Who cares?
We don't even know if it's gonna be. We don't even know if it's gonna which Lando it's gonna be.
Why would anybody? I hope. Okay, I hope it's at least Donald Glover. Like, at least do that. But like, why?
The only reason I would like it if it was Billy D. Williams, if it was like in like after Rise of Skywalker. Just what was Lando doing? Like, it's like, why a Lando show?
Yeah.
Oh.
I was watching the Honest trailer for Rise of Skywalker.
Looking forward to, though.
Yeah, I was watching the honest trailer for Rise of Skywalker, and I thought they had the really funny point that was like, they're like the issue that comes up when you have one studio running the two biggest franchises in the world, and it shows all the parallels between the Endgame ending and the Rise of Skywalker ending. Like, they damn near have a very parallel, like, final battle.
Pretty common though for like characters and
Yeah.
earlier stuff to show up, so it was kind of...
I've never finished it, but there was going to be an epic review of Rise of Skywalker, which had been just like an hour of me ragging down on all my issues with it. I hate being that kind of Star Wars fan. That's just how I felt about the movie. I never did my spoiler review for it, but I never feel like I needed to, so.
Again, there's explicitly a reason I just don't talk about Star Wars anymore. I'm like,
It's
I just
so
don't like
toxic.
the fan base.
The fan base makes it so
I don't
hard.
like the fan base. I don't want to talk about it. I'm
fan
just
base-
gonna enjoy it the way I will.
Just being honest, Disney, I think, messed up a lot, but the fan base has ruined Star Wars. They have made it such a less fun, just toxic culture.
Oh.
And misanthroponies included in that toxicity.
Yeah.
Yeah. 7.5 hours of ranting on The Last Jedi does not help anyone. Anywho, I don't know. I guess live action Disney things are coming out too. I'm not excited for any of them at all.
Sorry, I had to like do something. I had to close my door because people were coming in.
You're good. New Disney live action things are coming. Not excited for any of them. Not a single one.
I guess the only one that like is intriguing is I guess the new Peter Pan, just because the director of it is David Lowery.
That sounds cool.
Did Peach Dragon.
Yeah.
And he's doing the Green Knight, so I'm like,
that sounds cool.
It's
it's just
a
like
good choice, but I'm like, I don't know if it'll be good. I hope it is.
That's just like, Disney
Nothing interests me outside of that.
Yeah, Disney has a hard time letting creative people be creative, so I don't know if they'll let directors do that. But at the end of the day, most live action things from Disney, I could not care less. When did I watched Mulan this year? I think. Jesus Christ. What was that? Like, what was that, honestly?
There was Cruella.
I think it's supposed to go on Disney Plus this next month. I'll watch it. I'll review it on Letterboxd. I can probably guarantee I won't like it because I haven't liked anything live action Disney for a while. So
that one's interesting because I wasn't just not wanting it at all, just because I was like, I don't freaking want a Cruella de Vil movie.
When I heard the premise, I was like, are you kidding me? Really?
But it's weird, because I think it's, like, it's probably the best one they've done, or one of the best ones. It's got issues, but, like, my big thing that kind of bugs me is... they don't go down like the full she's evil route. Like, they still have her be a villain by the end.
Oh yeah.
She actually becomes a villain, but they don't like go down the she kills puppies type thing.
Yeah.
Like, they don't go down that route.
I think at the end of the day, I'll watch it and then I'll decide if I think like, because I'll go in open-minded because I shouldn't be like just oh my god I'm gonna hate it because Disney. But at the end of the day, I know myself and I know how I view Disney, and I just don't like their new stuff. So
I will say it's easily the best directed one. It was done by Craig Gillespie. That's right.
The directing.
How did I on you?
Yeah, I know. Live action remakes need to stop.
Directs the crap out of it.
Yeah, I'm interested by that element.
It is. So
hopefully, though, like, I hope these
live
action
remakes.
I hope live action remakes kind of die out, though. I don't know if that's unlikely. Considering that, like, I think people have started to realize how lame they are.
Yeah.
I think it's more likely that in the future.
Freaking same.
I know. They're all the worst. Aladdin, Lion King, Mulan. What else? Beauty and the Beast.
Cinderella?
And I haven't seen that one actually. Beauty and the Beast, Lady and the Tramp, Dumbo. All bad. None of them are good. I like The Jungle Book. Okay, that's it.
I like Jungle Book too. I like Peach Dragon. I like Jungle
I
Book.
haven't seen Peach
Christopher Robin,
Dragon
I
in a while.
guess counts.
I guess so. That was nice. That was nice.
And I guess it would be Cruella. The big thing that just bugs me is all of them kind of like the best ones for me are the ones that like take advantage of just kind of doing their own thing.
Yeah, that's...
While there's a difference between doing their own thing, like actively trying to quote fix the originals,
Yeah.
which is what I really don't like about the remakes. Like Beauty and the Beast has this whole thing of like here's how the castle works and there's a book and
Yeah, that whole... That
they-
everything they added
Aside
to
from, the
like...
good ones.
Everything they added to like Beauty and the Beast and Aladdin was bad. Like, I'll be honest, Aladdin, yeah, no, that movie was some hot garbage. Like, I don't get why they let that. Like, everything about that plot was bad in my opinion. I think they're very.
And then there was Cruella, which just did not give a crap about the original at all and just did its own thing.
Yeah, which I like more, but like at the same time I'm just like make original content, you lamos. Like, just do something interesting. Remember when they did that Nutcracker in the Four Realms?
I still haven't seen that
Good.
one.
It is bad. It is really bad. I think it was
What's
pretty
really
high on
bad?
that. I think it was real. I need to look. I remember I put it like on a good spot on my least favorite films of 2018.
I just remember like the trailer that like they dropped like in theaters, but it didn't come online for like another 3 months.
Yeah. It was... Yeah, no, oh my gosh. Yeah, I remember the trailer was in theaters, and then they didn't release it into... Like, they didn't release that trailer online for a while. That was weird. I need to find my 2018 list.
Made a mistake with that movie.
Yeah. Oh, my brother rewatched The Karate Kid tonight. I just looked on Letterboxd.
For him.
Oh, have you seen Cobra Kai?
Still haven't. I know you were bringing it up a couple of months ago. I still have not seen it yet.
You do that. Soon. That show is some next...
I have like 20 shows I need to watch.
Yeah, I'm not a crazy show person to be honest, but that show, man, that was one of the most entertaining things to see. All right, my 2018 movies list. Let's see, there were 69 films. Let's see, Nutcracker in the Four Realms was the 8th worst film that year. Yeah, that was a year with some bad movies. You still there?
It was just kind of meh, I feel. There was like some awesome stuff, but it was mostly kind of eh.
2018. Yeah, well, I mean, I have like Endgame. No, I had Infinity War, Spider-Verse, Fallout, Won't You Be My Neighbor, but there's also a lot of just kind of stuff. Did you ever watch Searching?
Yes, it was one of my favorite movies from that year.
That was something. That was a great movie. Also, Creed 2.
Oh, that one just started filming its second one.
Oh yeah.
With the direct-
Oh yeah. We didn't do the Run thing.
Yeah, he did Run. It's not. So Gigante is not coming back for Search 2, but he is back as a producer. It's the editor from Searching directing.
Okay.
It's like a different story from what I can gather.
Oh yeah, I know it's a different. It's another film about like someone getting lost, right?
Maybe we don't know quite yet. We just know.
Hopefully. Do you want to hear a fun fact about KFDM? Actually, there is a
Yeah.
KFDM film that exists somewhere. I think I might have told you this before, but I haven't said it publicly before. That is a parody of Unfriended.
Yeah, you did.
Do you know the reason why it's never come out is I have no idea where it is. I filmed this last summer with a group of guys. I haven't talked to these guys since it came out, which is why I'm too scared to text them for like the YouTube link. I've tried to look it up. I can't find it. It's called Ghosted. It was for some like summer camp in Denver where you made a film. It was online that I had to do it. So that's why we made an Unfriended movie. But from what I did of like my part in the footage, it was easily probably the worst thing KFTM's ever done. It'd be bad, but if I ever find it, it is coming out. So
The hunted.
see if I can
It's
find
the hunter and the soldier of the KFDM.
Yeah. Well, the only thing with Hunter and the
What?
Soldier is it exists. I don't know if this one exists anywhere. I remember
That one is trying to do Owl Ridge, and I kind of just tied it into your stuff.
Yeah, just randomly at the beginning throwing a little Jaeger thing, and it works. And now the Hunter is a full character in Derek and Edge of the World. Yeah.
Makes me so happy. You've done way better with the character than me.
I was just like, I had this faceless character in Edge of the World, and I was like, why don't I just make it the Hunter? It works. So yeah, no, it's in it. Anywho, it seems like maybe it would be a good time to stop now because we've been going like, let's see how long this has been going now. We've been going
like 2 hours.
Oh, like an hour and 40 minutes. Yeah, that's good. That's like a good 30 minutes longer than the episode I did with Tate. So we might be good to end now. Yeah. It's fun talking movies with you.
Yeah.
Next episode, for anybody who's unaware, I need to look his username up again. It's an episode I'll be discussing hip hop with someone. His name is B Tony Hip Hop. He's not like a crazy creator. He's just a friend I have on Twitter, and I decided, hey, I'd put him on the podcast next because he's probably my best friend on Twitter. That's into hip hop. So that's next episode. I don't know when that's happening. It'll probably happen this weekend sometime. So yeah, I'm cranking these out. I got inspired by Joe Rogan, and now I'm cranking them out. So anywho, see you guys next time. Tons of videos coming. Peace out. And bye. Bam.
Hey.